We were talking to one of the boys there and we're saying, where's your tent? He said, I don't know, something keeps happening at the tents in this Glasgow city centre. So that's two boys we spoke to, where's your tent? Don't know. We were talking to Darren and Darren saying, look, I've put my tent up, I've come back and it's gone. We'd knock back people who's suffering for accommodation. We'd knock these people back and tell them they're not a priority. Then they're back out in the streets. Then we punish them for trying to keep themselves sheltered.
All we're asking is if we can get a bit of respect and a bit of fair respect from council and other people about being on the streets.
You've always treated me as a peer, an equal, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's rather than somebody that's we're above you or we're below you, we're side by side.
Side by side, John.
We've been through this shit together, Aldo, mate.
Hello, Robbie, how you doing? We're just doing a wee response to your article. You says that we've only been interviewing white males. Alright guys and girls, welcome to the street. So, bits in Glasgow. So what we're doing today is we've got some volunteers that we today know. We've got Raymond, we've got David and we've got Scott. And at the end of the day, you know, you know David for I was on holiday in Lanzarote and David stood in for me. And you know, he came across well and I thank David for that. But David's one of our outreach workers here at the streets. And at the end of the day, he's down there the now and he's getting stuff out with two other outreach workers that work for the streets, you know. So that's what we're doing and that's how far we've come since June. You know, we've now got volunteers in this city centre, so when we're doing this, they're doing that, and it keeps everything finely balanced and tuned. So at the end of the day, man, it's a beautiful experience that just look where we were in June to where we are today, you know, and it's an absolutely amazing feeling to watch this happen and grow. Another thing, we were looking for a boy called David. One of our subscribers got in touch with us. This boy David, we've been looking for him all day in the tune. He's got a wee tattoo there at his eye with no fear on it. And at the end of the day, we just want to speak to the boy. And any of our viewers and anybody watching this, because we know we've got a good following for the boys that sleep in this tune as well, you know. And at the end of the day, we're just asking you, if you see David, ask him to get in touch with the streets, but we will continue to look and keep you updated with that, so we will. So if you stick with us today, and we're going to introduce you to our volunteers. You already know David for Saturday's video, and he's been on a couple of them, and we got them the Christmas special, and we got my accommodation and that. So we're going to be introducing you to the boys, and two of our volunteers are going to be telling you know, through me, how they came to know the streets and how it's serving them to come out and just walk about with us, you know, and do this. And to me, when somebody comes out to walk about with us, most of these guys are struggling, so they are. So when these guys come out with us, man, you can see it, you know, you can see that, you can see the uplift in them, you can see the happiness in them, and that serves me in Aldo's hearts, you know, because we're watching people grow. And as you know, for Jamie and David were on these streets, man, they were suffering, And now David, I think David's 30 odd days clean. You've seen him with his chip. He's sitting in the meetings, he's doing well, he's got a safe, secure place to stay. And at the end of the day, man, that's all we want to do at the streets. We want to pick the still suffering human being up. We need judgment in our eyes, but only love in our hearts, you know. And that's what we do at the streets, building up that community. And that's what we're all about today. So stick with us and we'll take you to the lads, man. And we've been walking about, and this tune is really dead right now, so it is, man. There's hardly any boys about. So we're a wee bit concerned about that, because we were talking to one of the boys there and we're saying, where's your tent? He said, I don't know, something keeps happening at the tents in this Glasgow city centre. So that's two boys we spoke to, where's your tents? Don't know. So what's happening to these boys' tents? So the one thing we want to express here is, see if any of you are ever in the city centre and you see somebody dismantling a tent, you know, could you even record that? You know what I mean? Because we want to get to the bottom of what's happening with these guys' tents, because two of these boys are veteran rough sleepers, man. So if somebody stole their tent, they would get that tent back in under an hour, because they know everybody in this doing it rough sleeps and is addicted. I believe it's no any of the boys on these streets that's stealing tents. I believe there's an ulterior motive to somebody stealing them. It's Glasgow city centre. It's like tents about, nobody likes that. So what is happening to the tents in the Glasgow city centre? Is somebody stealing them, or is somebody sending people out to dismantle them because it's an eyesore in Glasgow city centre? So stick with us, and we're going to do a bit of delving and investigating into that one, and we'll bring it right back to you, that information. Thank you very much. So, these tents here, this is 2 of them we've seen, right? So the tents that me and Aldo supply, right, that our volunteers give out, our outreach workers, it's not these tents. It's actual professional pop-up tents, you know. And these tents are getting moved. We're talking to Darren, and Darren's saying, look, I put my tent up, I've come back and it's gone. Now, there's no way somebody's stealing Darren's tent, as I said earlier. He knows everybody. So I've noticed these tents kicking about like that. What's this? But just as we were walking up, we seen the big Clenny truck stopping to come and take this tent away and all this stuff away. Now, I know people walk by and think, oh wow, that's an eyesore, that's disgusting, this kind of stuff in Glasgow city centre. But please remember, these people have tried their utmost best to get accommodation and been turned away and told they're not a priority. So their only other resort is to get a tent, you know, and then for the cleansing department to come in and just take that away and look at it rubbish, because in all actual fact, right now that serves as somebody's home. That's somebody's safe space to stay out the cold elements, man, to keep warm. You know, is that what it's come to? That we knock back people who's suffering for accommodation. We knock these people back and tell them they're not a priority. Then they're back out the streets. Then we punish them for trying to keep themselves sheltered and warm. Well, at the streets we see now, so we left a wee tag on this tent here, and it just quite simply says, leave our tents alone, because they need to. You know, this is ridiculous, man. You know, we can't turn people away and say you're not a priority, the accommodations are full, then come and take the only place that keeps them warm at night. It's ridiculous. So please, leave our tents alone. Please. So that's us. We bumped into John there, you know, and we've not seen John for a wee while. John, how you doing, my bro? Good to see you as well, bro.
Good to see you, bro.
So, John.
Yes.
What's been happening? You can give us and our viewers a wee update.
The past, I say about the past 3-4 months, I had a wee change of heart. Decided to participate with the services, the legal services, my responsible officer, and my drug worker, and it's worked out really well. I've cut my using right down to a couple of rocks a week. I'm moving towards sobriety, getting the Buvidal, and I'm participating in all my appointments. With a couple of court dates that went much better than expected. I was expecting to be up in Berlin by now, but because of the progress I made, the sheriffs took pity on me and said, we'll extend it. And they were like that, onwards and upwards, keep on doing what you're doing well. So it was a real boost to me, you know. So this is the best place I've been in a long time. And for all you viewers out there, what I can say is, persevere, do not give up, because you don't know what's around the corner. You do the right things will happen. Do you know what I mean? The last time I was on camera, I was in a ride downer. Do you know what I mean? Just I didn't think I was going to get out of this. Then all of a sudden, 3-4 months later, I've got all this hope back, and it's brilliant. You know,
John, I just want to say I can feel that hope, you know, because you're being honest. I'm just taking a cut of rocks. You're cutting down your drug using.
I'm doing the harm reduction way, mate.
There you do, harm reduction way. Boom, amazing. I can feel
I'm desperate to be sober, mate. I'm desperate to be sober like the boys, mate. Do you know what I mean?
And do you know what I can feel as well? It's like you're talking so much. You're talking beautiful.
Clearer, mate.
Clearer.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank.
You touched on down there like you were in a downer. And
I didn't want to talk, mate, you know what I mean? But I thought I would do it anyway, Aldo, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and look at you now. You're talking, you're looking.
This is 3 months, I feel so much better. I've got so much hope for the future, man. I just want the legal stuff out of my life.
Yeah.
So I can concentrate going to NA, CA, and get back into being the person I'm meant to be, do you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
Because I see a lot of the boys are out of the tune, they're thinking there must be a way out of this.
Yeah.
And see if it wasn't for used to. Do you know what I mean? There would be no interaction to say, look, we know we've been through this before, we can help you, we can advise you, do you know what I mean? So I'm in a good place at the moment, lads.
John,
you know, it's been
thank
brilliant.
you very
Not
much
at all.
for the
Not at all.
words, man. And
No
it's
bother,
amazing
mate.
to see it. And so I take it your drug workers working side by side with you?
Yes, yes.
We love to hear that. That's
Yeah,
a great thing.
she's brilliant, you know, and she's very come and go, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm quite keen to go on that boot. On you go, mate. On you go, mate. I'm quite keen to go on the Buvadal for 4 months, and then from then, when I come off that, I want to go straight back to NA.
There
And
you
get
go.
right in about this programme, mate. You know what I mean? I've had
Absolutely
enough,
brilliant.
mate. I threw the towel in about 3 months ago, mate. And look, I feel better, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know what? You're on your feet. See, I seen you coming down, man. I was like, recognise that guy. And next minute is you, John. I'm like,
Mate,
wow, he's looking good, man. He's
mate.
looking very good, you know
Aye,
what I
mate,
mean?
it's good, mate, you
And
know.
it is an amazing thing to see you today,
Aye,
John.
mate,
It's an
aye.
amazing thing to feel your energy,
Well, see,
to feel
Frank,
the way you're talking.
you've always treated me as a peer, an equal. Do you know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's rather than somebody that's we're above you or we're below you. We're side by side.
Side by
And that's
side,
what's
John.
so, we've been through this shit together, Aldo, mate. And we're side by side. You're further on further on line. Congratulations, big man of the year. Well done. Superb, Aldo. Get his year clean. Phenomenal. Such an example, mate. Do you know what I mean? To see you doing the right thing gives me heart. It gives me heart. Do you know what I mean? So I thank my God that things will get better for me. Do you know what I mean? I've got 2 more dates I need to deal with, court dates, and I'm just praying that they go well. I mean, that legal stuff's out of my life. It'll be onwards and upwards, mate.
Well, John, we also pray for you they go well
brilliant,
because
mate.
you got a good result at court there. A judge recognised that you're trying to pull yourself back up
It
onto
was
your
that
feet.
onwards and upwards, Mr. Gallagher. I was like that. Thank you very much, Your Honour. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Curtsied and all that. There you go.
Aye, excellent, John. Man. It's really glad to see you
No,
look
that's
well
great.
and talking well.
And for anybody out there, it can be done. Do you know what I mean? I know Glasgow it's a tough place. Do you know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't see. We see you persevere. The help's there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But we need to put it in ourselves as well. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's a combination of putting your own effort in and accepting the help. Do you know what I mean,
Yes.
guys? You know, so.
Well, John,
this is
thank
brilliant.
you very much
Not
for
at all,
that
guys. Not at all,
clear-cut
guys.
message. Bring the love in,
All
brother.
the best. Thank you, guys.
Right, so we had an interview with Robbie Armstrong. Hello, Robbie, how you doing? We're just doing a wee response to your article. So, Robbie, your article to us, it was a good read, you know, but there was only one thing that myself and Alan and a few other volunteers at the streets were like. You says that we've only been interviewing white males. Now, we did interview a girl who had a cracking success story. A week later, she got housed. Hi there, Rose. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you
How's
very
your morning
much.
been?
Well, it's been great now I've bumped into you.
Good.
If it wasn't for you, the housing officer wouldn't have got in touch with me.
That's brilliant.
And they're giving me a new property.
Excellent.
So thanks to you guys, that's all I can say.
She's never been seen in the streets since, and we can't put other people on our camera that don't want to be on our camera. For instance, most women that we talk to, you know, they're vulnerable women. They could be on the run for domestic violence, anything, you know. So rather than put these lasses on camera, we'll sit and talk to them, buy them food, whatever. Just like we Karen the day, and we go to our soaks and we go to all that stuff. So at the end of the day, when it comes to like other ethnics, really, you know, other people from other countries that stay in our country, well, we can't put these people on camera for one reason. We would endanger these people's lives. My experience as a rough sleeping addict in this city centre, and any rough sleep will tell you when the money buses come in and you see all these people coming off the mini buses, then you see the gang leader standing getting the cups out, you know. So if we put any of these people on our camera, even talking to these people when you approach them to ask them if they want a coffee, you can see fear in their faces if they're like, just get away from me. Because these guys are not that far for these people, watching them make the money in case they're putting paper into their pockets or trying to hide money. So that's why you'll always get that response. So we're not in the business that the streets are endangering lives, man, or putting vulnerable people on our camera. That's why you don't see other people on our camera, you know, people from other countries that's now staying in our countries. It's a one plain simple reason. We don't want to endanger anybody's lives, you know, and that's the one simple reason. Women as well, you know, like women are vulnerable. My experience again, living in here, rough sleeping addict, the amount of ladies I came across, man, that were battered and abused after partners, and the only place they had to go was the streets. Because see, at the end of the day, one woman in particular, her husband would find her at every women's aid flat she was in. So these women are that scared and then living in fear. They come to the streets just to blend in and disappear for society. So there's no way we can put these women on camera, but what we do is we talk to them off camera, like Karen and that earlier on. We got Karen her stuff. But aye, we're not in the business of endangering people's lives, man, and that's exactly what would be happening if we were to go about interviewing the Romanians. You know, these people are living in fear of the gangs that control them, you know, and put them out to work to get money. So that's one of the biggest reasons we will never put any of these people on our camera. So that's us just about to take the boots off in Glasgow, man, and go home for the night. So at the end of the day, we've had a good wee productive day, and we've had some of the lads out walking around with us. Lads that's going to eventually come and volunteer for us as well, you know. And this is David, as everybody knows, and this is one of the jumpers here, you know. Outreach worker, the streets and the wee beanie hat. And that's Hope's Embroidery and Printing in Clyde Bank, who donated these clothes kindly, free of charge, you know. And we can show nothing but gratitude towards that business for doing that and donating this to a good cause. So, David, how does it feel wearing the famous uniform?
The famous uniform. I feel like Superman.
Yeah, man, great.
No, it's great to have the jump on. I suppose as we go on, people are going to recognise the logo and the jumpers, and people will start approaching us more. Because you're very distinctive in your height and your voice, as someone recognised today. So yeah, it'll be great. It was a good day today. Started off a little bit slow because of the weather, I think. There wasn't many of the familiar faces out that we've helped previous with the tents and the sleeping bags, but we did eventually get to give out sleeping bags and some crisps, chocolate, sweets, and we got socks, coffee, and one or two other bits. So it was a really good day today, and also we had two other guys out with us today who haven't experienced this. So it was their first time out as well, and they really enjoyed it, and it's enjoyable as well just to step back and let other people go in and give back to the homeless, to the suffering addicts.
Well, thank you very much for that great input, David. Can I ask Raymond to come in? Raymond, how you doing, Raymond, man?
Good, Francis, thank you.
So, Raymond, last week you reached out to me, and it was a really good message, man. It touched my heart. So we've been talking since then, and you've come down here today, all the way for East Kilbride, to put in a bit of volunteering time, which we at the streets appreciate, and so does all the still suffering humans here in this town. So, Raymond, can I ask you, what brought you to reach out to the streets?
I'm actually 5.5, coming on 5.5 years clean and sober, Francis.
Well done, bro.
But I started doing, I started taking it for granted, mate. But I've got a bit of sobriety and I'm taking it for granted, but I sort of had it. Past 6 months, mate, things has just been getting top of me, man. Things building up and started struggling, mate. I saw signs a couple of months ago, but the signs are getting more recent and stronger, mate. Yeah. And then I saw your videos, yourself and Aldo's videos on YouTube. Yeah. And that's when I decided to reach out yourselves and come out and do a wee bit of service for yourselves, and just to realise, and so I don't forget where I came from myself, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because we all came from the same place, mate. Yes. Do you know what I mean? We came from the ground, we all hurt the ground, we all come back up half a grand. So it's just to remind myself what I need to do and what I need to do and keep myself sober and what I'm doing. And it's just also to thank you and Aldo yourself for letting me come out and volunteer with yourself and let me join your team as a volunteer. It's an honour, mate. Thanks very much, mate. And the day's just been an eye-opener, mate. It's just what I needed, mate. What I needed to see, what I needed to be part of, to realise, don't take things for granted. It's no, doesn't matter what sobriety you've got, mate. Things can happen with the click of a finger, mate. Do you know what I mean? And that sobriety can just go back to day one again, mate. But again, I just want to thank yourselves, Francis and Aldo, for letting me join your team, mate. And again, I've had a wonderful day, mate, and that's what I needed, mate. Absolutely need it, and thanks very much, man.
Well, thank you very much, Raymond, for coming out with us. And just one thing, when you say taking things for granted is an addict in recovery. It could kill us.
Yes, totally.
You know,
mate.
it
Totally,
can kill
mate.
us. So
Totally.
that's a good point you made there, man.
Thank
Raymond,
you.
thank
Thanks
you
again.
very much, my
Thanks
brother,
again.
man, for coming out with us today.
Thank you.
You want to come in, bro? How you doing, Scotty boy?
I'm alright.
And how do you feel since you've been out here with the streets today, walking about?
I've been very happy. I'm glad I met you. I'm an ardent follower of your YouTube channel. I seen you yesterday. I've on the first road to recovery, and I wanted to reach out to you, and you gave me your time, and I appreciated that. And then you took me out today with you, and I've seen what I had to give to the most vulnerable people and the help you give.
Yeah.
And it pierces my heart to see the sadness in some of the people I've seen today.
Yeah.
And there's no one better than anybody, and I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
I'm so glad I met you yesterday.
And what brought you to reach out to the streets when you were driving by in your
Yes.
partner's car
Yeah.
and you seen me get into the Bright Shark Foundation? What was it that prompted you to get that car stopped?
I just had to go out to reach out to you, to go to you. I was a bit shy at first, then I just said I had to get the support I needed to, because my addictions was getting quite bad. And now I'm feeling glad I'm part of your team as well.
Yeah, and was it a
I
good
like to keep on it.
experience for you today?
Yes, it
You
was.
enjoyed it,
Yes.
that's good.
Yes,
And you
I've
showed
seen
willingness
some happy
today.
faces.
Yeah.
You gave out food
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And you
Brilliant.
came up at 9 o'clock this morning to the flat. You sat
Yes.
there, your partner very kindly dropped you off. So that's a woman that's encouraging you and pushing you to
Yes,
get well and
yes, she
get
is.
better.
She is.
You know, which is a
And
great
it's
thing.
It's a fight. It's just
Yes.
starting my fight now.
So
This is the first start. And
thank
we've-
you very much
Yep.
for you coming out here today with us, right?
Right. It's been a privilege, it's been humble
Yeah, it's
as
been
well
a
meeting you.
privilege having you, my
Right,
brother.
thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
So that's us, you know, boots off, going home now. And you know what, it's been a really good day, because as we're doing is building up a community, and we've got our volunteers in place, and that's it, man, you know, and this will just keep going. And let's pray and hope that every still suffering addict, you know, that we can get there to serve them. And that's all we pray and ask for, you know, that we can be a service to all these boys and all these lassies suffering here in these streets. And if I can touch on one more thing before I go about the tents, you know, Darren that we were talking to earlier, you know, this guy's a veteran rough sleeper. And if it was just a normal guy in this town, you know, if it was another addict that stole his tent, take it from my experience, I ran about with Darren in here for years, that boy would have found out in under an hour the name of the person that took that tent. So I just wanted to put that in there as well. So thank you very much for watching the streets, man, and coming around me today. Much love for this heart to your hearts, and I hope you all stay blessed and safe, man. Thank you. Right, guys and girls, that's us here, and we're with Chris, and Chris is in his tent. Look at this, man, nice and comfortable, so it is. So remember we were talking about the tents getting lifted up and all that. We were talking to Chris about it, and Chris is going to tell us a wee bit of experiences that he's had with this.
Experience was that I was lying on the streets, and I had certain clothes and other things lying, and they were picking them up and throwing them in the skips, and throwing my belongings in the skips as well, and picking up my cups with money in them and flinging them in the back of the truck. And the experience was that he was touching stuff belonging to homeless people, that homeless people are only getting given from other people, and wants the help from public and people that are amazing and stars in Glasgow and Edinburgh. And all we're asking is if we can get a bit of respect and a bit of more respect from the council and other people about being on the streets and having difficult times.
Yeah.
And having as well, having hardly anything. I'm coming from families that have quite a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of servicemen have been going through the same. And nurses as well and other people have been going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of my regiment people and army people as well, and colleagues and amigos have all been going through difficulty with stuff getting lifted off the streets.
Yeah.
It's rubbish to the council, but it's
Yeah.
no, it's actually our belongings.
Yes, exactly, it's your belongings, and we
All we're
touched
asking
on
is if
that.
they can assess when they go up what they're picking up.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
We have homeless cups that have small change is what people think. But
Yes.
it's actually a lot of money that's in that. That can help us
100%,
get
I can
somewhere
ID
like a
with that.
hostel or a hotel or wherever.
Yeah, 100% I agree with that. So, you said that he first hand for Chris, you know, about what we touched on with the cleansing department, not having any respect, because remember, these boys try their uttermost best to get accommodation, and they're always told you're no priority enough, and they're seeing everybody else getting it. So this is Chris' safe space that we're in now. This is going to keep him warm, it's going to keep him dry. So what we please emphasise, please, don't touch this guy's tent. It's the only place he's got to sleep tonight, safe and warm, out of this dirty weather, man. So please, leave our tents alone. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Chris.
Supporting the team.